From Marva's funeral to the Aldhani heist, these are the moments that define Season 1 of Andor. So a major reason for Andor's success is that it brings the Star Wars universe into a more realistic and gritty tone. To really get this going, in Episode 1, Andor's looking for his sister and these two officers start to harass him, and he even kills one of them. Now granted, the first one was accidental, the second one was not, and this moment is exactly when Disney says, this is what we're giving you, and this is not your average Star Wars story. It also really sets the tone in that Andor is not going to be your average hero. He's going to be gritty and cunning and slimy at times, which makes for a really compelling story in the Star Wars universe that we just haven't really seen.
We're going together. I'll tell them what happened.
So Luthen and Cassian's introduction is really interesting because somehow Luthen knows all about him, and at the same time the Morlana 1 officers are after Cass, but it really is the start of something new. It is the life outside of Ferrix, which is what Cassian has really known for most of his life. This new beginning, though, is juxtaposed with flashbacks of Cassian's home planet, and we get moments with him and his sister and back in his home life with all these other kids. There is just such a great contrast to Marva rescuing him when he's a little boy and Luthen essentially rescuing him when he's an adult. It is the start of something new, the start of new beginnings, and potentially a greater and more fulfilling life. Luthen and Cassian's escape is also really significant because Cyril gets knocked over the head by a harsh truth of reality. Bringing the world to justice isn't exactly as easy as you think. Cyril's failure to capture Andor during that mission on Ferrix sets off a huge chain of events, but that is a video for another time.
I was hoping for a more relaxed conversation, but you're right, we don't have time. Contrary to what you told me, I doubt that you'll be sticking around.
Aldhani. So this is the first major blow to the Empire, and when I was watching this with my girlfriend for the second time, I was like, this is when shit really goes down. Like, you don't necessarily understand the rebellion until this happens. In a way, it's the start of the rebellion because nothing like it had occurred before. The audacity that rebels could deal such a blow to the Empire was unheard of, and it truly inspired and showed people all across the galaxy the Empire isn't invincible. During this arc, we also get the introduction of key characters like Vel and Cinta. We get a glimpse into Nemik's manifesto until, we get to see the Eye, which is a stunning celestial event that is just incredible to watch, and they did such an amazing job of portraying it. There was also the "And now you want me to climb? Climb!" moment where Nemik yells at Cass to just go up into the stars, and it's just such an important arc because everything in the Star Wars universe gets set off by this event because it truly is the start of the rebellion. It is the moment that the world and the galaxy gets hope. So after Aldhani, Cassian and Marva have a really heartfelt goodbye because he can't stay and she can't go. It's brutal because obviously she's the one who saved him when he was young, but he's a fugitive and he can't stay. But also she is inspired by Aldhani like millions of people across the galaxy, and she wants to fight in her last dying years. This scene also has one of the most powerful lines in the show, which is,
"That's just love. Nothing you can do about that."
Leaving someone you care about is incredibly difficult, and we really feel all the emotions in this scene.
"You can't stay, and I can't go."
Alright, so Cassian gets thrown in prison for literally nothing because the Empire is ramping up surveillance and arrests after Aldhani. He gets sent to this prison called Narkina 5, and it is absolutely brutal. The prison has heated floors that can kill you, long punishments and shifts, and building parts for the Death Star. Though of course we don't quite know what that is yet. This arc is just another example of how the show does such a great job of giving us insight into real people within the Star Wars universe, as well as how rebellions begin in a realistic way through the power of people, through the power of community. It's revealed that the prison isn't even releasing people anymore, they're just killing them. Freedom isn't an option anymore, so there's only one way out. The main dude in the prison, which I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, delivers such a great speech as all of the inmates are trying to escape and he's trying to rile them up. because there really is one way out. It is now or never. The arc was a really great addition to the season, and again, shows the power of the people, especially against the Empire.
There is one way out.
In Andor, we also get a great inside scoop into regular Imperial life and what workers go through and what they're thinking. This is primarily done through the ISB and Dedra Meero, who delivers an incredibly cunning and just vicious portrayal of the character. She's trying to connect Axis and Luthen and all these different things across the galaxy into this greater rebel scheme. And it is really interesting to see both sides of this war, you know, before it really starts, because there are Imperial officers on the ground, you know, really trying to investigate things and figure things out, and it's also a job, and it's also they have beliefs, and do they always coincide with the Empire? Are they programmed? Are they propagandized? We also see some really evil Imperial like that torture device that they put on Bix is incredibly up. It killed William's dad, or whatever the his name is, and it goes to show you that the Empire doesn't give a about you. They will torture you, they will do whatever they need to get the information to remain in power.
We're here to further security objectives by collecting intelligence, providing useful analysis, and conducting effective covert action, sir.
Very good, Dedra. That is verbatim from the ISB mission statement and wrong.
One of the greatest moments from this season is Luthen's monologue to Lonnie when Lonnie asks what he sacrificed. Luthen basically gives him a verbal spanking because he sacrifices everything. He's given up relationships and comfort and his humanity in order to fight the Empire. Luthen will never see the fruits of his labor. He will never see the sunrise on this new galaxy that he's fighting so hard to acquire. He sacrifices absolutely everything in his life, both external and internal, and it is truly one of the greatest monologues I have ever seen.
So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
Another fascinating aspect of the show is Mon Mothma, who is a senator who kind of gives financial support to Luthen and potentially other rebel activity. Mon is really interesting because she's kind of a square. She's a politician trying to play by the rules, but also she's involved in rebel activity. It's cool to see her get into the ugly side of the rebellion because this isn't peaches and roses. She has to make sacrifices too, including even marrying off her own daughter because she needs her financial tracks to be covered. Especially in season 1, she is a great example of no matter how pure your intentions are, no matter how correct you are in any way, shape, or form, or your status, if you're going to be a part of the rebellion, you have to make sacrifices. Everything is for the cause, and you have to be willing to do whatever it takes.
He knows none of this. He's not to be trusted. Smile.
The last piece of season 1 that I want to talk about is probably my favorite moment in the show, Marva's funeral. So Marva doesn't go with Cassian and decides to stay at home to fight the Empire, and it's kind of unclear how she plans to do this. That being said, Ferrix has a culture of incredibly strong community, and part of that culture is a funeral procession. This is how Marva decides to fight back against the Empire. Everyone marches, rallies, and gets riled up by her speech as tons of people flood the streets of Ferrix and a huge hologram of Marva comes up. She talks about wanting to lift them up, like so many before her did as well. I get f***ing chills whenever I watch this scene, specifically because of the line,
But we were sleeping. I've been sleeping. I've been turning away from a truth I wanted not to face.
It's the idea that we've grown complacent, and while that's not necessarily our fault, it's time to wake the f*** up. This scene really shows the power of the people and the ugly fight for freedom. And in a way, because of her, this is the second major act of rebellion across the galaxy. The episode ends with Cassian asking to join the rebellion because now he knows what he has to do.
Fight the Empire!
That's season 1 of Andor. The show is really, really incredible. I would give anything to watch it again for the first time. I'm absolutely going to make a video on season 2, so if you love Andor, make sure to subscribe. That being said, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.